Hey folks, how we doing today? It's me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel. Before I forget, let me go ahead and let everybody know if you have Amazon Prime account for your Fire Stick or your Roku in your house for your television channels versus cable, the movie Sound of Freedom is now free to watch on Paramount Plus and Prime. I believe that's the situation. Just to let you know, if you haven't seen it, I think everybody needs to see it. I think everybody and their kids need to see it as well, just to bring awareness to the situation. Enough about that. What I want to talk about is what's been really bothering me lately about what's going on in politics. You know, when something is going on where they're going after Trump or some ridiculous thing or another, I tend to think that it's not that they actually think they're going to get any kind of conviction on any of these 91 charges, but it's a way of keeping what they're really doing under the table, because everybody's looking at the front page news, which is Trump, 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 indictments, trying to kick him off the ballot. See, I think the Democrats know they're not going to be able to kick him off the ballot in any state. So these are just stunts that these states are pulling. And they know, I believe this is my theory. People like George Soros, and I'm sure he is one of the key players, has all these Secretary of States that we see did nothing to help the election process in 2020 when shit got shady. Well, these same Secretary of States are the ones that Trump will probably be getting rid of, because he's seen how they handled those swing states, a lot of the swing states, in just looking at the situation. And so they are Trump haters probably before the 2020, were probably well financed in their campaigns and in other ways, perks, from people like the Soros Foundation and the Democrat Party, which are one and the same at this point. There's a few other key players, but we'll just stick with George Soros for the moment. But this is what I think is happening. I think people like George Soros have a game plan, and it's not to kick Trump off the ballot. It's not to send Trump to prison. I think these are the things that everybody is thinking about looking at, and then the Democrats can do whatever their really sinister, last-minute Hail Mary game plan is going to be. I hope it is not assassination. I would think they wouldn't go that far, but who knows at this point, and I do worry about Trump. There's a lot of people that pray for Trump. There's actually a couple of channels on Facebook where people pray for Trump, just because anybody being president is a dangerous job, super dangerous job. But the animosity that has been created in this country behind people wanting good government or crooked Joe has just gone crazy. The progressives have gone nuts. They've been militarized. The government's been weaponized. And I'm worried about people like George Soros with their sinister master plan to get everybody looking left, get everybody looking right, while he does something around the corner. I think one of the things that they're going to try to do in the 2024, about in the next several months, this is just my guess, after they got all this distraction going on with the Trump cases and the Trump ballot issues, once all that gets handled up on, that will have given them time to do what they want to do, which is put out campaigns, have the mainstream media back the narrative of their campaigns, which is not just to push Joe Biden and make Trump look bad, but to let the illegals know, one way or another, whether they're citizens or not, they can vote. Because literally nobody will put you in jail for not voting, or for voting without proper credentials. All you need is a social security number in some states. Every state's rules are different as far as their voter ID, citizenship. Some states you don't have to be a citizen to be able to vote. I think just having a work visa, social security number here, gives you the right to vote. So there's such a gray area there. I do believe the Democrats are going to start pumping. Doesn't matter what the technical law says. We want all 15 million of these newcomers that just walked over the fence, just stepped through the fence, to vote for us if you want to continue for us to support y'all's free ride. And I believe that is going to happen. And sure enough, I found a video clip of Barack Obama insinuating the very thing in an interview. Stick around, that'll be the last clip I bring you. But this here is a clip, relates on the same thing. This is JP Sears. I listen to this guy over on Rumble. He is got a monstrous channel over there. He's a really funny comedian and commentator. But Twitter's blowing up over people really just worrying about what are the Democrats going to do if all these shenanigans don't work. I think all these shenanigans aren't meant to work. I think the Democrats know they're not going to work. I think there is something in the woodworks that they are trying to sneak in the process, and I think it has to do with that open border. That's just my guess, and to hear it out of Barack Obama's mouth in kind of a word salady way kind of just confirms that I hope this isn't the new narrative. But if you start hearing it on the news, folks, please let me know in the comment section down below anytime you find a story that involves something involving that, because I believe, it's just my guess and from what I've been digging into, I believe this is going to be one of the next tricks up the sleeves of the Democrat, but they won't put this into motion until they get very close to the election. That way there's not time to contest it. There's not time for it to be adjudicated or thrown in court, because citizens at this point, it is illegal for people to vote if they're not citizens. But in this video I'm going to show you here directly, they call them non-citizens. That's a better term for an illegal immigrant, I'm guessing. Let's go ahead and get into JP Sears. This is the best 50-something seconds I've heard explaining what happened in 2020, and we all know what happened, but this is one of those you can't deny moments. And then we'll go straight into the Barack Obama video.
If you see information published by an enemy of the people before our censors have a chance to erase it, our fact checkers will let you know that you didn't see what you just saw. Trust us. For example, if you saw this video from Georgia of poll workers being told to leave the room, and then this suitcase filled with ballots being pulled out from under a table, our fact checkers would gladly correct this misinformation by letting you know, and I quote, "Fact check. Video from Georgia does not show suitcases filled with ballots suspiciously pulled from under a table. Poll watchers were not told to leave." As you can clearly see, you saw wrong, probably because you're mentally ill. So we corrected you, and you're wet. If you see information...
I just had to bring that to you, folks. He's hilarious. This is a communist guidelines instead of community guidelines. I just thought that was hilarious. Not that our election was stolen, that they can still try to put this narrative out there. 90% of the media still is trying, even though they know what happened in 2020, they're still trying to put out this narrative that is just so far from reality now. We all know, folks, what happened on January 6th. We all know what happened in 2020 on November 3rd. We all know what happened with Joe, Hunter Biden, John Kerry, Devin Archer, Tony Bobulinski, and a whole list of others that were, and Obama, and a whole list of others that were involved in on selling this country out. So let's go ahead, speaking about Barack Obama, let's go ahead and get right into this Barack Obama video and listen closely to the language he uses here. All right, here we go.
People try to discourage you from voting. If you want to vote and you show up at your polling place, they can't stop you from voting. They can't stop you from voting. If people want to know how to vote, then you can go to iwillvote.com. The fact of the matter is that we give our power away all the time. You know, we tell ourselves, oh, it's hard, it's not going to matter, it's not going to count. And the powers that be, they're counting on us giving our power away.
Many of the millennials, dreamers, undocumented citizens, and I call them citizens because they contribute to this country, are fearful of voting. So if I vote, will immigration know where I live? Will they come for my family and deport us?
Not true.
Okay.
And the reason is, first of all, when you vote, you are a citizen yourself, and there is not a situation where the voting rolls somehow are transferred over and people start investigating, etc. The sanctity of the vote is strictly confidential in terms of who you voted for. If you have a family member who maybe is undocumented, then you have an even greater reason to vote.
Wow. Just my prediction, folks. I think when we get about halfway through this year, when we got 2 or 3 months before the elections, I think we're going to start hearing the mainstream media start putting out scenarios of why shouldn't people that are now going to be living here have the option to vote. And then I think states will go into deciding on their own whether I think it will come down to every state deciding if they want these new migrants, illegal aliens that are already there or on their way there to be able to vote there. And that's the bottom line. I think that is going to be another dividing line in what is happening with this division of states. And I'm just trying to call it in advance. I may be wrong, but I don't think so, folks. Everybody have a great day. I just thought I'd bring you this spooky video. And don't share this with any illegals, please. Over and out, folks. Everybody have a good one.